If you take a look at this picture, you'll see people riding an escalator in New York City many years ago. But what's interesting about this is you see some people on the left-hand side are doing just that, riding the escalator. If this were Washington, D.C., people would be walking on the left-hand side, going up the escalator. I saw this sign on a metro one day, and it's defining an escalefter as a person who stands on the left side of the escalator when he should be standing on the right. So now, thinking about that definition, what do you remember? How would you define an escalefter? You might have said something like, an escalefter is who stand on the left side of the escalator. Unfortunately, that would be wrong. But if you go back and look at the definition, it's a person who stands on the left side of the escalator when he should be standing on the right. So let's try it again. How would you define an escalefter? This time you might have said an escalefter is a person who stands on the left side of the escalator. But you'd still be a little bit wrong. There's a problem here with this. So let's look at the definition one more time. Person who stands on the left side of the escalator. Okay, got it. So now we should have an escalefter is a person who stands on the left side of the escalator. A person who stands. Okay. So this is the typical format or structure pattern that we would use when defining or describing a person. So for example, a blank is a blank who blank. So what would we need here? Some sort of a noun. And then again, is a some sort of a noun, and then finally who, verb. But if it's third person, don't forget your S. But rather than just keeping it singular, we could also do this as plural. So for example, a or an escalefter is a person who rides on the left side. We could also use it as a plural. So we could say escalefters are people who ride on the left side of the escalator. And then we can take it one step further. In these two examples we have people, but we could also use it for objects. So a thing is a thing that, and then you use your verb here. Similarly, we could also use plural. So things are things that, verb. And so again here you would see something like noun plural are noun plural, that, and then verb. So now you practice. How would you define a chef? Hopefully you said something like this. If you did this, you have a noun is a noun, who, verb. And we can see we have our S here. Now try the plural form, chefs. What are chefs? Again, hopefully you said something like this. Chefs are people who cook food. In this case, we don't have an S here because we have plural people. So now think back to an escalefter. What's an escalefter? You got it. An escalefter is a person who stands on the left side of the escalator. Now you're ready to use relative clauses, adjective clauses in defining people and things.